Hi, I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks-White. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Well, as we record this, Francine is on her way to the Louisiana coast.
We'll show you how the storm affected agriculture on next week's show, but this week we're speaking with the new Louisiana State Climatologist about how he's bringing agriculture and emergency preparedness together. When there are drought conditions in pastures in the west or a tropical system threatening the coast, Louisiana State Climatologist Jay Grymes is providing expertise and perspective where it's needed. Grymes is familiar with this position. He was state climatologist for 12 years before starting a career at WAFB Channel 9 in Baton Rouge.
I'm actually a bit more comfortable now, even though there's almost 3 decades there of the TV gig.
In this small office at the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, Grymes is moving into this position at what could be an uncomfortable time.
What I really enjoy about that is I get to get my fingers into a whole lot of stuff, and there's a whole lot going on right now. We've got active tropics. We've got a saltwater wedge sneaking up the Mississippi River. We've got drought in the northern part of the state. I get to dabble in each one of those and provide some hopefully helpful input to decision makers in all parts of the state as to how they're going to respond to events just like those.
At GOSEP, we always recommend everyone to have a plan.
Jacques Thibodeau is the director of the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. His background is in law enforcement, so he values the perspective Grymes has brought in the past as a volunteer and now as a public servant.
We're in all 64 parishes. We have communication with all 304 municipalities and all state agencies. And what Jay brings to the table is giving those first responders that real-world picture for somebody that not only teaches it and talks about it on the news media, he's lived it in emergency management for decades.
Sometimes weather people like to get caught up in jargon. And there are times where my job essentially is simply convert it back to 8th grade English. And that's what those people in the field need. They don't need a weather lecture. They simply need to know, what can I expect and what's the reasonable worst case scenario? And that's the zone they work in, preparing for what we think's going to happen, but also being aware of just how bad it might get.
Because Grymes now works for both GOSEP and LSU, Vice President for Agriculture and Dean of the College of Agriculture at LSU, Matt Lee, said Louisiana has a very diverse agricultural sector that is heavily influenced by weather events. With Jay Grymes as the state climatologist, we have the opportunity to work directly with him using his wealth of weather experience to keep producers updated on current conditions and support the U.S. Drought Monitor. We are thrilled that Jay is on the LSU Ag winning team.
Between the governor, the GOSEP, and LSU, I've had this opportunity to sort of redefine the role of the state climatologist and to link those two agencies, LSU and GOSEP, into what I hope will be an almost seamless role as a state climatologist.
The Louisiana Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness has a new Get a Game Plan app. It has lots of new tools and includes the names and contact information for your local OEP director. You'll find a link on our website at twilatv.org.